Hello, good morning, kindergartners. Today, and well, I guess afternoon, since it's the middle of the day for me. Today we are going to be learning about, or well, we're going to be continuing our lessons about severe weather, but today we're going to be learning about tornadoes. And tornadoes are very important to know about because they happen a lot around here. So what I want you guys to do is find a piece of paper. So I got my piece of paper right here, and grab a pencil or a pen, because I'm going to be using a pen. And I want you guys to sketch out what you think a tornado looks like. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's not this right here. This is severe weather clouds. I want you guys to draw, to the best of your ability, a tornado in about 30 seconds. Now, if you don't know what a tornado looks like, I want you to just try your best and go along. So as you guys know, this is a pre-recorded lesson. So I'll be asking you guys some questions, and I want you guys to answer them to yourselves. All right, just a few more seconds. I'm just about finished with my drawing. So I'm ready. So if you guys need more time, pause this video and finish your drawing. But if not, I'm going to show you guys my drawing. As you can see here, I drew it. It's spiraling down. That's what a tornado is made. It's spiraling winds. Down here, you can see that it's hitting the ground. There's clouds up here, and that is what I, to the best of my ability, is what I can create. What a tornado looks like. So let's get into PowerPoint. And before we learn more about tornadoes, I'm going to go over a few vocabulary words. So I don't know if anyone has any idea how to spell this word, but it starts with the letter T. Tornado. Tornado. A tornado is a violent, destructive, whirling wind accompanied by a funnel-shaped cloud that progresses in a narrow path over land. So spiraling winds spinning around, funnel-shaped right here. As you can see, this is the funnel, and it progresses over land. The next word starts with the letter M. Oi, O-I makes the oi sound. Moisture. I know some of these words are hard, guys, but just bear with me, okay? Moisture is a small amount of liquid that makes something wet. So if you've heard the word moist, the moisture is the act of being moist. And moisture is something that's in the air that helps create tornadoes. And then the next word starts with the letter I. Instability. Instability. And that means lacking solidity or not really stable conditions in the sky. So obviously, if there's unstable conditions, that's how storms are formed. So instability in the air is something that helps create tornadoes. So what is a tornado? I'm going to give you guys a little bit ideas of what a tornado is. So a tornado is an extremely violent storm, and they start up during severe thunderstorms. So just like when hail or lightning can happen, tornadoes can also happen when there's thunderstorms. They can destroy a neighborhood within seconds. They're very powerful, and when they happen, you definitely want to be prepared. And I'm going to teach you guys more on how to be prepared during this lesson. They can be up to 1 mile wide and can travel up to 50 miles. So a good way to think about a mile, it's about a little over 5,000 feet. So look at your foot, and imagine 5,000 of those, and that's how wide they can be. And then they can travel up to 50 miles, so they can be on the ground for 50 miles. So if you want to think about that, Russell is only about 30 miles away from Hayes. So, and that's pretty far away. So tornadoes can even be on the ground longer than it is from Hayes to Russell. And winds in a tornado can be as fast as 300 miles per hour, which is very fast. Most cars can only go up to about 100 miles per hour. And they can pop up in just about any state, or in any state in the United States. So some quick classifications. If you hear about a tornado and what size it is, these are different sizes. If you hear F0 and F1, they're very weak. F2 or F3, they can be strong, significant, and intense. And F4 and F5 are very violent, significant, and intense. So those are just ways that people rate tornadoes and understand how dangerous they are and how prepared you need to be. And some other little tornadoes that I put these in parentheses, as you can see right here. These are parentheses. Other tornadoes. This is called a land sprout. It can only happen on the ground. And notice how it's not connected to the clouds. Over here is a water sprout. It's made completely of water. And over here is a little dust devil. These happen over in the deserts and around Arizona, Nevada, Texas, places with a lot of desert. And these are not typically very dangerous, but they can be, so you probably don't want to be in the middle of them if you see them. And then destruction. Obviously, a violent wind is going to cause destruction. As you can see right here, I think this is a town in Texas, which is a couple states below Kansas. And this, you can see, I think this is a house. It's had a lot of destruction. As you can see here, this went through what looks like a neighborhood, and there's only a few houses here. Let's count how many houses we can find still in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I don't know if that's a full house, but about 8 houses remained. Oh, what the hell? Sorry, guys. And then right here, it looks like some sort of convenience store that still has a lot of stuff safe on the inside. So just because a tornado goes through your neighborhood doesn't mean that your house is going to be torn up like this one over here. This is a very rare case, guys. And I have a quick video I want to show you guys. It'll talk about how a tornado can start up. So let me get to the right time really quick. Okay.
One day it can be sunny and warm, perfect day for sunglasses and flip-flops, but the next day it can be cold and rainy. Most of the time, the weather doesn't give us anything that we can't handle, with maybe some sunscreen or an umbrella or a snow shovel. But sometimes, and in some places, there can be extreme weather, like big thunderstorms or hurricanes or snowstorms. And one of the most powerful kinds of extreme weather out there is a type of a storm that scientists pay close attention to: tornadoes. A tornado is a fast-spinning column of air that stretches all the way from a thunderstorm cloud in the sky down to the Earth's surface. Because tornadoes turn and twist as they move, they're sometimes called twisters. They form inside really big thunderstorms when cold, dry air moving from one direction bumps into warm, wet air coming from a different direction. Because the cold air is heavier, it slides down under the warm air and pushes it up really fast. All this fast-moving air rushing up and down can create a sort of spinning thunderstorm, and it can eventually keep going to form a tornado. And when a tornado forms, it can be one of the most powerful forces in nature. Tornado winds are the strongest in the world, even stronger than hurricanes. In some twisters, we know that the wind can blow to almost 500.
So remember, we learned about hurricanes in the last unit. Hurricanes are what happen over water, sometimes in the ocean. They build up of big storms, and they just travel on a path, and they can hit land with severe waves and with severe flooding. So everybody learned about that the other day in science class.
Kilometers an hour, strong enough to lift heavy things like cars and trucks into the air. And they're loud too. People who have seen them or even been in them say they sound like giant roaring trains. But they don't move.
Can everyone think about what a train sounds like when it's passing through haze, making that loud noises? Imagine that right around, lasting for a long time. That's what a tornado sounds like, and it's very loud.
As fast as a speeding train. Usually tornadoes travel across the land at about 50 kilometers an hour, slower than most cars go. Now, weather can be really unpredictable, which means that you just can't predict or know what's going to happen before it happens. And that's especially true for tornadoes. These windy storms can speed up, slow down, change direction, or even stand still. And they can last anywhere from a few seconds to as long as an hour. While tornadoes can happen all over the world, they're most common in the United States. About 2/3 of all the tornadoes in the world happen right down the middle of the country, from the Dakotas down to Texas.
So does anyone, so yes, obviously we live in Kansas, but we live in what is known as Tornado Alley. So this little red area right here is Tornado Alley, and that means that the red indicates that this is where tornadoes happen the most. So does anyone have any idea where Kansas is at? I'll give you guys a few seconds to figure that out. Okay, we are right here. This is Kansas right here. I know there's not an outline to show it, but this is where Kansas is at. And Hays is probably about right here. So yeah, we are definitely in Tornado Alley. So there can be tornadoes that pop up here.
Especially in the late spring and early summer. Because tornadoes are so powerful and so unpredictable, meteorologists spend a lot of time studying them. They want to understand more about exactly how and when tornadoes can form and hopefully predict when they'll show up. There are even people called storm chasers who follow big storms around the middle of the U.S. hoping to spot one as it turns into a...
Do you guys imagine chasing a storm, getting in your car and chasing a storm, getting up close to it and taking pictures and videos? I know that's something I would never do because that's very unsafe, but could you guys imagine doing that? That's very crazy.
A tornado, so we can get a better picture of what really happens when a twister forms. Scientists still don't know for sure when a tornado is going to happen, but they have gotten better at predicting which thunderstorms might be strong enough to create one. And if they spot a bad-looking storm early enough, then they can give people who live nearby a warning that a twister might be coming.
So has everyone heard on the TV when the news announces that there's a severe thunderstorm watch? So I want you guys to think about for a second, what's the difference? So there's two different classifications. There's a tornado watch and a tornado warning. And I want you guys to think about which one means there's a tornado. Maybe has a few seconds to figure that out. So a tornado watch means that they're watching to see if a tornado forms. And a tornado warning means that there's a tornado here. So if you hear on the news that there's a tornado warning and you're at home, you need to get to the lowest point in your house and stay safe.
That's one of the most important jobs that a meteorologist has, helping people get ready for extreme weather. So the more they learn about tornadoes, the better we can prepare for them, and the more they can help us understand how our weather works, even when it's not so extreme. I hope the weather is nice where you are, and if you have...
Okay, so I'm going to go back. That's enough for the video. I'm going to go back and finish this PowerPoint. So the main point I want to talk to you guys about is how to prepare for a tornado. So if we're in school and you hear the tornado sirens, I know we haven't really done a tornado drill yet, but I want you guys to think about this. Does anyone have any idea where we would go if there is a tornado? Okay, if there's a tornado, we would go to the tornado safe room. But not every place has a tornado safe room, and it can't fit everyone. So where a tornado safe room usually is at is in the middle of a building, and it can hold a lot of people. So if there's a tornado, we're going to remain very calm and get into a straight line in the classroom. Then we're going to walk down the hall and go to the designated safe room. As you can see right here, it's not every school has a safe room, so they got into the middle of the building and lined the wall and stayed safe. So the correct position to get in if there's a tornado is you start laying on your belly, and then you scrunch up and put your hands behind your head because it's going to be very loud, so you might want to cover up the noise. And you stay in that position, not talking to anyone, until the teacher says it's safe to go back to class. So let's review really quick on what a tornado is. So it's a very violent storm. Tornadoes can be up to 1 mile wide. It can travel 50 miles. There's all different kinds of tornadoes. They're very destructive. It takes a certain amount of cool wind and warm wind to combine and swirl together to create a tornado. And how we prepare for a tornado, we get in a straight line, remain calm, go to the tornado safe room, get down in the correct position, and wait until the teacher says it's safe to go. So now I have a little project I want to do with you guys. So I want you guys to get a piece of paper, and I want you to try to come up and create a sentence or two talking about how to prepare for a tornado. I know you don't have the words with you right now, but I'm going to help you guys. I'm gonna give you guys some better instructions in the next video, listing different words we can use and how to start a sentence. How do we start a sentence, by the way? With a capital letter. And at the very end, we're going to use a period. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about some different words we might use and how to create them. And later today, I have some I hope I told your parents to gather some materials together, and we're going to be making a tornado in a jar. So that's all for this video. I'll talk to you guys soon.